Liz will be talking about the travel ban. And what is the travel ban?
Okay, so yeah, just to provide a little context, just yesterday, the Trump administration passed an executive order that bans entry to the U.S. for citizens of specific countries. So basically, they issued a complete travel ban on 12 countries: Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, meaning that people from these countries who are not in the U.S. are going to have trouble getting visas and traveling here going forward. There's also a partial ban on 7 countries, which is Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Citizens of these countries, they will not be able to get visitor visas or student visas or employment-based and certain family-based immigrant visas. However, people from these 7 countries will still be eligible to get other types of employment visas.
We have a few questions, and I'll run through them. What is the purpose of the travel ban?
It is stated to be national security concerns. The executive order actually, it does list the reason each country is included here. Many of them are on the list due to a failure to communicate with the U.S. State Department about the identity and criminal history of its citizens, although that's not the only reason. The stated purpose for excluding people from these countries is related to national security.
Which countries are subject to the ban?
Total ban, meaning no visas to be issued in any categories for Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Only employment visas, but not visitor, student, or immigrant visas based on employment for Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela.
What does the full ban entail?
The full ban is no visa issuance under any category except for a list of exceptions. There are 9 exceptions. So meaning if you're a citizen of any of the barred countries, but you meet one of these exceptions, that you can continue to travel to the U.S. So if you are a permanent resident of the United States, so you're a citizen of a banned country, but a permanent resident of the U.S., you have your green card, you can continue to travel. You are not subject to the ban. If you're a dual citizen of a banned country and a non-banned country, you can rely on your citizenship in the non-banned country and you can continue to travel to the U.S. If you have diplomatic visas, A visas, C visas, G visas, or NATO visas. Not all C visas, but if you have A, C, G, or NATO visas, you may not be subject to the ban, but you do have to check your specific category of visa. Exception is if you are an athlete or member of an athletic team, including coaches or support personnel and their immediate relatives, traveling to the U.S. for the World Cup, Olympics, or other major sporting event as determined by the Secretary of State. Okay, so athletes, that's a good one. This is a big carve-out. The next exception is immediate family immigrant visas with clear and convincing evidence of identity and family relationship. So basically, if you're waiting to get your green card based on a relative petition filed by a spouse, a parent, a child, you will be able to still get your immigrant visa and travel to the U.S. and get your green card if you can show clear and convincing evidence of your identity and family relationship. Generally, to prove your identity, the State Department has always had a list of documents they accept to prove identity. We'll have to see if that is changed with these requirements, with this order, if the accepted documentation to prove identity is changed or not. Adoptions, so adopted children can continue to get their visas. Afghan special immigrant visas, for citizens of Afghanistan who supported the U.S. government while the U.S. was there. The next exception is special immigrant visas for U.S. government employees. The final exception is for immigrant visas for ethnic and religious minorities facing persecution in Iran. So immigrant visas can still be issued under those circumstances.
Are those the 9 exceptions plus a waiver available?
Yeah, there is a waiver available. So generally, there's a catch-all that anyone, if the U.S. government determines it's in their interest to issue a waiver for someone to travel to the U.S., there's a waiver available. I have not yet seen guidance on what has to go into a waiver to prove that your travel to the U.S. is important. But, we did have travel bans back in 2020 during COVID, and at that time, they had a waiver that they referred to as the national interest exception, and there was a good amount of guidance provided on that. So we'll have to see if they actually promulgate regulations about what the waiver might entail here.
The last question is, how long will the travel ban last?
This says that they will review the circumstances of each country in 90 days to see if they've improved on their compliance and whatever the deficiencies are that got them on the list in the first place. And if they have not corrected the deficiencies, that they'll be revisited every 180 days. So every 6 months, they'll revisit whether countries are eligible to come off the list.
We've covered what is a travel ban, what is the purpose of the travel ban, which countries are subject to the ban, what does the full ban entail, what does the partial ban entail, who is not subject to the ban, and how long will the travel ban last?
Yep. And so I think what I'd like to just leave with is everyone to think about, because these exceptions, really cover many people. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover everybody, but the fact that, green card holders can continue to travel, dual citizens of non-banned countries can continue to travel, immediate family immigrant visas can still be issued to spouses, parents, minor children of U.S. citizens. These are all significant exceptions. So I think if anyone has questions about whether you're subject to the travel ban or not, you should email us or contact us through our website.
Thank you.